Let me ask you something. Have you ever lost someone and later realized their value? Most people have, but here's the interesting part. Psychology shows that people rarely understand someone's true value while they still have them. They realize it after the absence begins. So the real question is not, how do you make someone regret losing you? The real question is, how do you become someone whose absence is deeply felt? Because regret doesn't come from revenge. It comes from contrast. And today, we're going to talk about the psychology behind that. 1. Stop chasing their attention. The first mistake people make after losing someone is trying harder. More messages, more explanations, more emotional effort. But psychology shows something surprising. Human beings value what feels scarce. This is called the scarcity principle in behavioral psychology. When something is constantly available, its perceived value decreases. But when access is removed, the brain begins to reevaluate. That's why people often miss someone only after they stop chasing. Distance creates perspective. 2. Silence creates curiosity. Most people believe that closure requires constant conversation, but silence has a psychological effect. When communication suddenly stops, the brain tries to fill the gap. This is called cognitive tension. The person begins to wonder, what are they doing? Have they moved on? Did I lose someone important? Silence allows the other person's mind to start searching for answers. And often, those answers create regret. 3. Improve your life visibly. One of the strongest psychological triggers for regret is contrast between past and present. If someone sees that your life improved after they left, their brain automatically compares two realities: the version of you they knew and the version of you they see now. Maybe you are more confident, more focused, more successful, happier. Psychology calls this upward comparison. When people see someone grow without them, it forces them to question their decision. 4. Become emotionally stable. This is very important. People rarely regret leaving chaos, but they often regret leaving emotional stability. Someone who listens calmly, communicates clearly, doesn't react impulsively, these traits create psychological safety. And safety is something the brain remembers. If you become emotionally stronger, the contrast becomes even clearer, and that realization creates respect. 5. Stop proving your value. Another mistake people make is trying to convince someone of their worth. But psychology shows something powerful. People rarely believe value that is constantly explained. They believe value that is quietly demonstrated. When you stop trying to prove yourself and simply live confidently, your value becomes more visible. Not through words, through presence. 6. Let time do its work. Regret is rarely instant. Human memory works in a fascinating way. Over time, the brain tends to soften negative memories and highlight positive ones. This is known as the fading affect bias. The arguments fade, the frustration fades, but the good memories remain. And when those memories resurface, people begin to reflect differently, sometimes much later. Important truth. Making someone regret losing you should never be about revenge. It should be about growth, because the real goal is not to make someone look back with regret. The real goal is to become someone who no longer needs their validation. When you grow, when you focus on your life, the people who truly valued you will recognize it, and the ones who didn't will realize what they lost. Regret is not something you force. It is something that appears when someone realizes your value after experiencing your absence. So instead of trying to control their feelings, focus on becoming stronger, calmer, more fulfilled. Because the most powerful way to make someone regret losing you is simply becoming someone they can never replace. If this video helped you, subscribe to Mind Theory for more psychology-based insights on relationships, emotions, and human behavior.